yourself besides
Right.
editing it way down for the.
That's what I'm saying.
Put
Take
it
the
up on YouTube channel.
Take the best
everyone's
30
gonna do
seconds out of this or
Yeah.
whatever, and then, but if you want to throw the whole thing up as part of the massive thing, that's
Yeah,
fine.
The full-length thing can, unedited, can be on the YouTube channel.
Right. I think it's Brian Eno that I'm actually quoting when I'm talking about this, but Brian Eno said about the first Velvet Underground album, the Velvet Underground and Nico, that it sold 25,000 copies in the first couple of years that it was out, which, was a pretty small number. But the outsized influence that it had came from the fact that out of those 25,000 copies, 20,000 of them were sold to people who went on to start bands, right? It was that level of inspiration. So even if you yourself have never heard the Velvet Underground and Nico, you have because you've listened to the U2. You have because you've listened to REM. You have because you've listened to all of these bands that came after that themselves had grown up listening to that album. It was a very inspirational, powerful album that taught people how to make a certain kind of music for it and filled them with the inspiration to go do it themselves. And I think Strikeforce is like that in both ways. It gave you, genuine, concrete advice that was valuable and filled you with Aaron's personal love of gaming, because his personality, much more so than most books at the time, really comes across in the book. You're having a conversation with Aaron when you're reading this book. Which, I don't know whether this is going to make it, but it's certainly inspired me as both a GM and a writer, that I find in my own work when I am teaching people about game stuff, and I'm trying to get some stuff across. To a certain extent, I always feel like I'm having that conversation with Aaron again, right? Like anytime I am talking about GMing advice, when I'm talking about long-term campaign advice like I do in Golden Age, I'm doing that in a conversation with what I learned from Aaron, and I'm questioning some things, and I'm saying, this is a thing that he taught me, this is a thing that I learned separately, and I wonder what he would have thought about it, right, and some of the things that I do, and, where does that fit into the philosophy that, once again, is amazingly well-defined and detailed in really, a very short book, right, but there's so much in it, and there's so much to inquire about and so much to learn from, that it punches so far above its weight. It looks like a tiny little book, and it's a campaign book. Oh, that's lovely, or whatever. No, it's so much more than that. So.
Good, excellent.
So yeah, pick whatever you like out of that, or if there's something else you want me to talk about.
No, I think that's fine.
All right.
That's great.
Awesomeness.
You want to go next?
Good.
Yeah, fire away.
Okay.
Mine will be
Ron.
short.
Yeah, I might do one, actually. I was just
All
going
right.
to tell you, Jason, I think I do have a couple of things to say. So.
Give me a minute.
I never did get to talking about terrible shirts and puns. Make sure you put those in yours.
Shirts and puns.
Nice. The joy he would bring to
I unfortunately never met him, so
never met him?
no, so
He's
yeah.
a really nice man.
Yeah, he was.
He had wretched taste in clothing, and wretched taste in puns, and awesomely wretched taste in movies. Just delighted to come tell you the latest stupid joke that he heard.
Was he the actual originator of the whole idea that game designers should wear these awful? Was that just
I don't know
everyone?
if it was very
dressing like
originator,
it,
but it was. I don't know that he was the
like a
only one.
spontaneous thing.
I think it was his generation. I don't know who gets blamed for the first time, because you had the SMOG, at Undercon, right? The Secret Masters.
Is that a small thing?
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
And the smog people at Undercon would self-identify by wearing Hawaiian shirts. So, who started that? I don't know.
Who, yeah,
Is it
who knows?
Aaron? Is it Aaron? Is it some other person from that? From the early mid-'80s? It's somebody in there. Thought that was funny once. So.
It must be funny for
So how are my glasses? Because these are special
People continue to kind of
computer reflective
I have to-
Megatech.
I have to move the camera a little bit because you are
What Robin started looking like. He very rarely
differently
actually
shaped than Darren.
Yeah.
Apparently I have a different shape than you
The
there.
big thing they
Are
were
you?
wearing was the medieval scholars flat cap and robe that we'd all have to wear.
Can I get you quiet for a second? I just want to make sure that